All right. Hello, team. Welcome to week number 2. Let's start up with a warm up. Again, you can pick any movement you would like. Last week we did burpees. This week I suggest high knees. But any movement you like to warm up, 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest, 7 rounds or more. Let's go. Are you ready? Go ahead and pause and get those in. Use a timer. Once you've been able to do that, then we'll move back to functional movements.
All right. So I know your heart is beating. So let's go right into mobility, starting with our fingers, flashlights flashing back and forth fast. You'll start to feel it burn in the forearms. Then we're going to rotate our wrist clockwise, then counterclockwise. You want to feel like you're wading through mud as you move your joints, controlled and warming up. Now moving to the elbows. Notice any imbalances on each side. And then to the scapula, moving as if hugging a large tree, again controlled. I'm probably going a little too quick here. And you want to go as many as you need to warm up. Then moving into the neck, cross your arms, squeeze as if hugging yourself, and rotate the neck all the way through. Draw in a large circle with the chin. And again, controlled. And make sure to get both directions of each movement. Moving on now to the shoulders. Rotating through large circles. Reaching all the way at the top. Open up the shoulders. Rotating the hands all the way through as if turning a doorknob. And again, make sure to get both directions. Try to avoid cracks. Try to move as smoothly as possible through the joints. Holding the palm up. Rotate through. Lift at the top. Scoop all the way down. And start the motion all over again. Again, make sure to get both sides. Your chest opener here. Clasp hands interlaced behind you. Pull it down and then lead your head to the mat. Now opening up our hip flexors, 90-90. Gonna find a comfortable position. Feel free to use a mat under the knee to provide more cushion. And you're just gonna gently lean forward into the 90, squeezing the glutes as you do so. Make sure to get both sides. Love Stir the Pot is a great hip opener and knee opener as well. Make sure you have even distribution of weight across the body as you go through these. Again, you can take your time and move slower than I am. Pause the video if you need to. Here we're reaching all the way to the sky and going into full hip extension, squeezing the glutes at the top. And now stirring the hips open, first clockwise, then counterclockwise. As you see, I kind of stutter there. Make sure you're pressing the low back to the floor. And make sure to get both directions. Again, keep going until you're warm. Now moving on to the knee with knee circles. Again, slowly moving, locking the ankle and just moving the knee joint in a circular motion. Again, can move slower than I am, but just moving clockwise and counterclockwise at the knee joint, keeping everything else the same. Make sure to get both directions on both sides. Moving on to the ankle joint. Here doing the same thing, moving the ankle joint clockwise, then counterclockwise, keeping all of the joints locked. And then I like to get a couple windmills in just to stretch the adductors. And a couple bodyweight squats. And then opening up the hamstrings at the bottom before coming all the way up. Open, stretch up. Come at tabletop and then back up. If you find you need any part of the stretch to open up a bit longer, feel free to do so. Get anything else you need?
For this week's ab portion, we have a series of movement to be performed at 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of recovery, 4 to 6 rounds based on where you are, and then slow tempo to make sure that we're increasing time under tension, meaning that we're working those muscles to go ahead and grow and develop for the six-pack abs. It's really important to focus on airflow and how you're moving. Quality of movement beats everything. So here we have the Russian twist. Make sure you're elongating and gets through the spine, top of the head, pushing through, and legs tight and across, moving slowly so we can really work the muscle. Make sure you're breathing airflow all the way through the body. Keep the legs tight. And again, really elongating through the spine to the top of the head. Next, we have our hip lifts. Starting from 6 inches above the ground, go ahead and elevate both legs together. Come in all the way to about perpendicular, and then slow drop. Breathing in on the way down and out on the way up. And again, elongating the spine and really working those abs. So that's your leg raises. Again, 45 seconds of work, and then we move on to the next exercise. Here we have the hip raises. We're going to go out, bring the knees in, and then go up. So out, in, and up. Now moving quickly on these, as much as you can slow it down, it's going to increase the amount of work that you're asking your abs to do, and thus give you more muscle development. So out, in, and then up. She'll be feeling the entire core, the entire abs just burning. This week would be a lot of work with the lower and mid ab. Those are really hard areas to target, so we'll make sure we hit those. Next, we're going with our flutter kicks, making sure our legs are stiff. We're moving from the hip and the abs. Make sure everything is tight. Really, again, moving, elongating our spine all the way through and breathing the whole time so that we're getting that work. If you start to feel pain in your low back, you can place your hand as I am doing there to elevate my hips and take it out of the low back and into the core or the abs in this case. You can play with your feet positioning. You can have fluttering out or heels. Here we have our next exercise. Plank to elbow. Get high plank. Here it would be great to see me get the hips a little lower, but reaching up and really squeezing that low ab and bringing everything in. Again, the slower you can move and stay real controlled, the more work you're asking the muscles to do, and thus the more muscle development. Next, we're doing our chair crunches, chair sit-ups. Again, we'll create like a chair. Make sure we stabilize upper and lower, knees stacked above hips, hands stacked below shoulders, and then crunch up and reaching as much as you can without going out of form. Go ahead and switch. Again, 45 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest. And I would switch on these every 10 or so reps so you get even reps on both sides or with both hands. Here we have seated knee in and out. So again, elevating, elongating through the spine. Legs go out, ankles, hips, everything is tight, and then they come back in, squeezing and really working those abs. With all ab work, all core work, you really should be getting a burn if you focus on the breathing and really making sure you're moving slow and burning all the way through. You're gonna finish the circuit here with jumping jacks, 45 seconds in jumping jacks, 15 seconds of rest. And then we're gonna repeat the circuit 4 to 6 times. You can do more if you like, but this should be pretty challenging in 4 to 6 rounds. Slow tempo and focusing on airflow. Good work. See you next week.